of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gotcha, Fred.
Please remember to silence your phones, and council people, turn on your microphones. Brenda, would you like to do roll call?
Roll call. Counselor Andrews.
Present.
Counselor Catalani. Counselor Flegel.
Here.
Counselor Coroli.
Here.
Counselor Rydell.
Here.
Counselor Touche.
Here.
Counselor Shear. Absent. Mayor Carpenter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Please remember to silence your cell phones and turn on your microphones. We don't have any special visitors tonight, and I'd like to open public comment period number 1, and please keep your comments to 5 minutes. The podium and the microphone is over here on your left.
Reed, 233 East Table Street. Roger, you know where I'm going. Let's talk garbage. Before I get started, I thought I read somewhere where you were getting more things finalized on the garbage, or was that something else that I read that wasn't true? You have everything settled on that? On the contract or whatever?
I'm not sure what you mean by getting things settled.
Well, do you have the contract completely settled on what you want?
Yeah, I mean, the contract was bid with a certain set of specifications, and so that's,
And there's no thing that's still up in the air yet? No?
no, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
You may be talking about, I think we were
Single
talking
bag.
about the toters and that we'd have to see, because there's
Yeah.
2 sizes, and
Yeah.
I think that's what maybe what was.
I have the same problem Jane does. 1 bag every 2 weeks. Now, my garbage is going to double. I don't know how many other seniors have the same problem. She's not a senior yet.
Pretty close.
Close, but not yet.
Depends on what you call
But-
a senior.
Let's go back a few years. Let's go back when we had our own garbage. Okay, you know how I felt about that. I never made it a secret. I wanted it to stay. Okay. You wouldn't have the problem, you wouldn't have to bid. You'd still be a lot better off, I feel, if we would have kept our guys and our business in this town. We were making money on recycling and everything else. It started out with Hennessy. One night he was over here as a president, jokingly said, "Hey, I wonder what it would be if we'd get an outside contractor." Everybody agreed, let's get a bid.
Not everybody.
Well, okay.
Oh, I agreed on the bid.
Okay. And then I fought the first one, and I got it petitioned, and it failed, and we kept our guys. In the meantime, sometime after that, you decided that you needed a building for the garbage trucks. Garbage trucks could not stay outside in the weather.
Well, wait a minute. Why are you talking to us?
Well, it was
This
his-
is their decision.
Yeah, it was his idea, though, to get, you,
You need to talk to them, Greg. We are their staff. You need to talk to them.
they voted on. well,
Exactly.
They weren't here, but I'm letting them know how it went.
That's fine. Let them know.
It's my turn to talk,
Absolutely, you go for it.
okay? You come up with an idea, you need, well, this came out of his mouth, that the trucks couldn't, you can laugh all you want.
I just don't understand why you're standing there yelling at us. We're staff.
I'm not yelling, I'm
This is
just
up to
stating
them.
the fact.
It
He
was
said
a
that he did
suggestion.
not want his garbage trucks out in the rain. It was damaging the trucks. Did you not say that?
Boy, that was
Yeah.
one of the big reasons for it. It wasn't just trash, it was all of our equipment.
But you wanted it mainly for the garbage trucks.
No, I wanted it for all of our equipment. And we also needed a place to work on equipment and just have more organization and more efficiency in that department.
Well, you made it sound that it was garbage trucks were your biggest issue with being out in the weather.
Well, we put an open-ended roofed part of the building for the garbage trucks that we wouldn't have probably had to have, but you want to keep your stuff out of the weather to keep it,
So what are you using
Better
that
for
building
longer.
for now?
we're storing all of our equipment in it, and we still don't have enough space for everything.
Okay, let's get back to the garbage. If you would have kept the garbage people, you wouldn't
Well,
have,
the garbage people resigned, all
you
at the
know
same
why they
time.
resigned? Because the borough count, I'm gonna use what you want me to say. The borough council kept voting to get them out. Now, let me ask you this, Brenda. If someone went up to you and said, hey, your boss is gonna try and get rid of your job, okay? Wouldn't you start looking for another job?
Not at this point in my
Oh,
life.
please, come on, come on.
10 years
No,
ago, you would have maybe.
you know what I'm saying. They were mostly younger guys. You're telling me you would just wait until they boot you out the door?
Well, yeah, I would have seen what happened.
Well, then I think you're foolish. I
That's
don't know of
okay.
anybody here that if they kept coming to you and saying, okay, you're gonna lose your job if we get this done, and then they didn't get it done, and they kept saying, we're gonna get more bids, wouldn't you think about getting another job? At least looking for another job.
I'd have to have all the facts
Well,
to
I'm
make
just
that
saying, if you
determination.
kept hearing that, wouldn't you, hey, before the shoe drops, you'd get another job? Or look for another job at least?
I would definitely have my resume prepared, yes.
Okay, thank you, that's what I want to hear. So if they would have stayed, they still would, this whole thing would be a lot cheaper than getting a contract every 2 and 3 years. I think in the long run, you would be cheaper if you would have kept people here and the garbage. And I guess you don't agree with that.
May I say something?
Please.
Greg, I know exactly the way you feel, but I'm not sure that in the climate that we have had the last numerous years, that those people would have stayed and/or we could have replaced them. So we might be in a situation where Waste Management was last year, where they didn't have enough staff. That is a possibility. We don't have a
I mean,
full
if you
public
keep
works crew
threatening to
now,
get rid of
so.
these people's jobs, yeah, they're gonna look for another job.
That I understand.
And that's what happened.
That I understand, but I do think that if they would have stayed, who knows if they'd still be here, and who knows how difficult or easy it would have been to replace them. So we might have staffing issues if we had trash in-house. And don't get me wrong, I voted against
I know you
outsourcing
did.
it, but we could still have those issues.
My opinion is, I think we'd still be better off if we would have kept our own garbage compared to the way the garbage situation is now with Waste Management or whoever. I think in the long run, a few dollars and cents, it would have been cheaper to keep our people. And I guess you don't agree with that, Roger.
Well, I haven't looked at it with numbers and things like that. You may be correct, I mean, but you're assuming that those guys would still be here, that we didn't have to replace any trucks. Trucks are not cheap. Trucks are not available, parts are not available. We were basically running our own trash company, and we had to do it every day. So if guys were sick, if we had something else to do public works wise, we had to cancel that, and we had to collect trash and recycling. So that's basically all we did. Our public works department has evolved to being able to do a lot more things now, where before, we couldn't do anything because we had to do trash every day. That was our number one focus every day, because we had to do that. So if a truck would go down, we had to try to get the truck fixed, or we had to try to get a rental truck to, it was basically like running a trash company. It was maddening. So I don't know. And if it was so great, why aren't other municipalities doing it? Nobody's
I have
doing
no
it.
idea.
Yeah, nobody's
Did
doing it.
any other municipalities have their own trash company before they bid it out?
Some did, I believe.
Well, I still think you'd be better off with our old company.
Can I just mention something? I knew trash was gonna go up dramatically. We all knew it, what happened to Dairy, what her Dairy Township got socked 50%. And I just want you to know that I was not against voting for the trash service. And as a single bag trash user, to me, there was no reason. That single bag program came in at $98. There was no reason to have $98 trash service for single bag when the lowest bid without the toters was $103. For $5 more, I'll put my trash out every week. It didn't make sense to keep the single bag program no matter what. So it really wasn't. $5? That $5 a quarter is worth it to me to put my trash out every week. It'd just be a smaller bag.
I still think we should have kept what we had.
Yep. Jumped in front of you.
Hello, I'm Jeff Small. I know Jane, full disclosure there. I'm going to piggyback on him
Excuse
a
me.
little bit.
Can I have your address, please?
138 North Harrison Street.
Thank you.
I showed up today for two reasons. One, I read on Lebtown about the refuse system that you guys bid upon and everything. So I just have a few questions concerning that. But before I do, I just want to reiterate, back when we did have our own service, I do agree with him. I did not agree with getting rid of it. Ever since we did get rid of it, I have had more problems with calling in and asking why didn't they pick up the trash? What's going on with I've had more problems with waste management than I had in the 30 years that I've lived here in Palmyra in 1 year. And so I wasn't too pleased that they went to an outside company. I understand Brian was one of the first people to try to bring this in, and where's he now? He's not here. But yet the rest of us have to deal with it. The fact that we are in a position where we really don't have the opportunity to look for somebody else. This is like, this is a situation where everybody in Palmyra has to have this system. It's not like I could call up some other waste management people and come pick up my trash. Or I could, but I still have to pay the refuse every quarter, regardless. And so, I wasn't too thrilled from the beginning about that either. But now that we're in this situation and we're moving on, one of the questions I have is, this is apparently a 96-gallon trash container. How big is the trash container?
I would assume it's something like the waste management ones you see around.
I mean,
I
are
don't know
they
what
like?
that size is.
They're about the size of the podium.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other question is, are we still, is it whatever we could fit in that container? Or is it like 3 bags that we're allowed to go in to this container? Or how are we supposed to be doing this? Because everybody in Palmyra has trash cans right now. And when we throw trash out, we're throwing them into the trash cans, into bags. Does that mean we have to take them out of the trash can, the trash bags, and throw them into the containers now and take them out to the thing for them to get it?
No, you can put whatever you want in that will fit in that curb cart.
Okay, but so it's whatever fits in there and whatever goes out.
Right.
I was just curious as to how big this is, because I mean, we have smaller trash cans. You know, are we just throwing, do we have to put it in a bag, or do we just take our turkey bones out and just throw it right into that trash can without any bags or anything? I
Yeah,
mean,
you don't have to bag everything and put it in the curb cart. You can just throw whatever you want in there. Because they're gonna roll it to the truck. There's a hydraulic tipper on the back of the truck and it just dumps it into the truck.
well, that's gonna get kind of gross.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
You know, so now we're gonna have to still deal with the bags. So I don't see an advantage at this point in time. Secondly, I was just curious as to how big it was because of making sure I could get them through my gates and that they could sit in the back, you know. Are there gonna be a place where we have to put them so that, because I have 2 cars that sit in the back. And right now, I mean, if they're gonna come in and grab this thing, I don't want them pushing it into my cars.
Well, no, they're gonna grab it by hand, pull it to the back of the truck, and the tipper puts it, and it's not one of those grab hand things like you've seen before. They go up the sidewalk and they grab and tip up these things.
Okay, well, I read that one of the reasons why we were going with this company was because they could just drive down the alley, go out, grab it, bring it, put it in, and put it back again. If that's the
Now, that-
case,
That is the direction that the refuse world is going. That's what they want. They would like 1 employee per vehicle with the hydraulic arm on the side. That's the direction they're headed. We're not there yet, but that's the way that industry is going.
so, okay, so what about recycling? Are we to recycle in this container too?
You'll
or-
have a separate recycling container.
Okay,
so that basically
so
is
now
an
we're gonna
option.
have 2 of these big containers sitting in the back now.
Yes.
All right. All right, this could be an interesting situation.
Now I have a question. Will there be a toter for recycling?
Yes.
Yes. What trash day is on Forge? They're all sitting out along Forge. If you drive up 117 heading towards Lingle, you'll see them all alongside the road. There's a green Waste Management 96 toter with a green top, and then next to it is a green 96-gallon toter with a yellow top. The yellow top has recycling. The green top is trash.
Yeah, I've seen them. My sister lives in South Londonderry and has
Yes.
them. I didn't realize.
I don't know
there
if they're
were
gonna be those
2
colors,
toters.
so don't quote me on that. I didn't see their.
And I won't
mean,
be able to get my car in the garage.
The only reason, I mean, I don't know how many of you have driven down the alleyways in the back of, like, at North Harrison, Grant, and some of these other places. It's not very big back there. And, you know, to have some, you know, with people having cars back there, and we're sitting these containers out, and then, of course, there's some elderly people. I don't know how good they're gonna be. I hope there's wheels on them. But, you know, they're gonna have to try to tote this thing out with 3 bags of garbage in it, if they have it, or 1. But, at any rate, I just wanted to come to find out some of the specs as far as what was gonna be happening with this new system.
If you want an experience sometime, get in your car or your truck and drive down some of these alleys and see how stupid the people throw their stuff in barrels. They don't even hit the cans. It's all over the alley.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's in my alley.
A lot of the problem is the renters, that they don't give a
Right.
darn.
No, I don't disagree with you on that, because in our alley, we still have that issue too.
Quick at throwing stones at Borough Managed, but it's not their fault that this stuff's going on.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, under the circumstances, when we had our own, I know we didn't have hardly half this stuff, half the
I agree.
problems, you know, but this is where we're at now, though. The other question I have is, I was looking to find out what the status was on the building between Broad and Arch and North Harrison Street. The reason why I'm asking is because I heard rumors that council and the board or that the board, school board, was pushing to have apartments in there for low housing apartment, or low income apartment.
The current owner of the property is still trying, he's pretty sure they're going to be able to do a luxury apartment deal there.
I mean,
That's his
I
goal.
wasn't in favor of this to begin with, but because parking and everything around there, if they think that people are gonna park in the back or out to the back and the side when their stuff's right in the front, that's not gonna happen. So I was just concerned about what was going on, because if there's low-income housing being considered, I am not gonna be a very happy person. So I just wanted to see where the status was on that, as to whether or not that's true, the rumor of it. You know, do you guys know if that's, if there's
I remember at
discussions?
first I mean, you can't say never, but this, not everybody on this council, but at the time, that council was all for backing him with the plan he had. So that's what we, at those who were on council at the time, would have preferred.
Okay,
Yeah, his original plan was
Yes.
a luxury
yeah.
high-rise apartment
I was
with.
here when he explained it. To be honest with you, if you were gonna do anything, I would rather prefer making that whole area, if you're gonna take that down, have it in the same housing situation that is across the street, instead of an apartment, make duplex houses going down through there.
But
And we won't
unfortunately,
be,
Single-family
don't own that
we don't own
property.
it, nor will we decide that, that's whoever the owner is. has to
Yeah, I
decide.
know, I'm just saying that's what I would have actually preferred, if they were gonna do that, but I just wanted to find out those two things, but find out some questions on that, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am? No, can we bring the microphone to her, Sergeant? Thank you.
My name is Elaine Kreiser, and I live at 601 South Duke Street, Elmira.
Thank you.
And what I want to comment about is the lady here said about the single bag program. Well, when you started it in 2019 of July, I thought it was a good idea, because I don't use a lot of trash. I mean, I put out a lot of trash because I'm by myself. So when it was every other week, it was convenient for me, because I'm handicapped and it's hard for me to put it out. And the thing is I appreciated that when you got that service, because to me it meant a lot. The other thing is that about the recycling, I have that small bin that I have since I bought the home when I first lived here. And I've been using that, but I never put it out every week. It's now only maybe once a month. You know, and then it's not, because I only put it out when it's full. Yeah, and that's my, and then when beings, I heard that yous are getting bigger things to put your trash in and stuff. To me, I cannot handle them. I have a walker, I cannot deal with the big things. And especially, you know, they throw the things there and I can't, you know, when they do the garbage or whatever, and I can't handle it. You know, I can't roll them in, I have to use a walker. With the bin, when it gets empty, I put it on my seat and I roll it in. The small bin. So it's convenient for me. I don't know how everybody else is doing or what they're doing, but I try to control my trash, and I do compact it. I don't just throw it in, I tear it up, and that's why it's so, you know, some people I've seen already, they just throw it in, and then when the wind goes or something, it's blowing down the street. The same way with the recycle. They bill it so high, they could put it in the next week or something instead of bill it so high, but I don't know how people work it. I know how I do. And the thing is, I just feel what you provided with the single program was proper for me. Now, I know there's other elderly people, I don't know what they do, but the thing is also with the cost was half decent, because the cost went down some from the standard, and like I just feel that it was proper for me. And I don't feel I should be charged a standard fee when I don't use it every week. I'm not putting garbage out every week, and same way with recycle, I only do it maybe once a month, and not even then. So I'm not really using the service, you know, and I just feel I should be charged for what I'm putting out. I'm just telling you, every other week was proper for the garbage. Now for the recycle, I only put out when it's full. And sometimes even then, when it's bad winter or something, and it blows a lot of wind or something, I won't put it out until the next week, because I don't want it blowing down the street. You know, I can't run after it, and I can't go, and people don't care. They just let it blow down there, you know, and I'm not gonna do that. You know, when I see it's decent, I'll put it out. But, you know, things do happen, sometimes things occur you don't expect, but I just can't run after this stuff. Because I'm handicapped and I'm older, and it's just hard for me. I lived here a long time, but it's just that I just feel I'm gonna tell my comment and what I feel about it, because I heard you changing your trash, and I thought I appreciated that single program. Whether it meant $5 or whatever it was, it still was lower than your standard. But I ain't using the service every week. So, and I just feel it's proper. That's my opinion. But I know you remarked about it, it wasn't no difference. But if you're putting it out every week, maybe it is. But I ain't, I'm doing it every other week.
I'm on the single bag program also.
Well, I
Currently.
mean, you were saying about it, you
Yeah.
thought you,
That program alone was going from $54 a quarter to $98 a quarter, no matter what. Well, the low bid without the toters was 103. So,
so you're saying it's going higher than the standard?
no, it will be the standard.
Because it only raised 3 times since you have it about 5.5
Yeah.
years?
Well, it was going from $54 to $98 a quarter. So, not quite doubling, but pretty much.
Because I know when you started out, it was $127 a month. When you started July
quarter.
2019, that was the monthly thing.
That was for everything, for
Well,
refuse and.
it was for
and
that
sewage.
month.
Sewer and
It
trash.
was
Yeah.
127.
Yeah.
Then you raised it the following year to 134 or something.
That's your trash and sewer.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the way you bill it. I'm not just talking about
Right.
the, you know,
Yeah.
but, and
Well,
then it went up
that
again.
portion of your sewer and
I
refuse
know the
bill.
sewage went up too.
Yeah, that portion, the trash portion of that quarterly bill was 54 for a single bag program. That alone, that portion of that bill with this new contract would be 98. So it was going up $44 a quarter just for that single bag program.
But I mean, it was convenient for me.
Yes.
I'm just saying,
Well,
I don't
and
feel
I'll
I'm
be
gonna-
honest with you, ma'am, before we had the single bag program, I didn't put trash out every week. Paid for it, but I didn't put it out all the time. Being single, I don't cook, so I don't have a lot of food scraps and stuff. So I didn't feel a need to put my trash out every week, but I paid for
Yeah.
the full service and
Right.
I put my trash out. And again, I don't put recycling out every week either.
because I thought with these big bins, I might have half the trash what some people have. And then big bins, you put in that little, a wind could come and blow it and out it goes. And I said, I ain't running after it, I ain't. And we're supposed to be responsible for them big things, and I can't deal with them. It's good enough with the bag to me, cause I put another bag in the bag, so the animals don't get at it. Cause when you just put a single bag and they sniff around it, like you provided the bags for the single program, which was fine. The thing is, there was a little issue with it because with the drawstring on the one side would rip.
Rip.
Yes, so, but I still managed to tie it up, tight, cause cause of animals, but
Yeah.
anyway.
No, I get it. I've cursed those bags a lot.
Yeah,
They're not good.
yeah, well, I mean, I managed to get them closed that they were tight, but, because I did come in here and tell them, you know, at the office here. I come in and I said something to them, but they said, oh, they'll tell them. But, it's still got a bunch in it, some with, doing the same thing, but I still able to, because I make a hole.
I
in
duct
the
tape
wrap
mine
up.
together,
No,
so.
I wrapped them kinda and made a hole that it
Yeah.
slip in and then tie it real tight. So that's the way I do it anyway. I try to keep it that nothing gets at it or out down the road. But anyway, that's me, but I just thought I wanted to comment about that, cause I appreciate that program. And the other thing was about you changing the trash. I can't handle them bins, and we're supposed to be responsible for them. I can't be responsible for something that's bigger than what I'm able to handle. So that's why I want the single program, but if you ain't gonna go with it, then I guess it's what it is. Cause like I say, it's harder for me. And I'm sure there are other people that are handicapped and, you know, people just should be more responsible, but, like you say, trash goes down everywhere, it's because they just don't care. You know, and if they're neat and clean in their house, they should be at least neat and clean outside, you know, with your trash and everything. And I try to be, but it's just like I say, if an animal gets at it, it's, you know, not my problem, but yet I can't prevent an animal from coming. And I know the containers help that too, but I can't handle a container. So that's my comment on that. That's why I came in, because she said to me I should tell my comment, so that's why I'm here. So that's all I gotta say, I guess, unless you have something to ask me.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you. Dave McCloskey, 212 East Ridge Road. On your agenda tonight, action and discussion item 8, Part D. Financial security reduction request from the Melrose property. I would like to see council vote no on this, and I'm gonna tell you why. First thing that should have been done in this whole project was stormwater should have been taken care of. Stormwater is still an ongoing issue. Normally, this is not something I would say or agree to, but in this case, I'm kind of upset with the way things are going. The latest is I'm now seeing sinkage in my property and the property beside me. And at some point, this needs to be completed and done. And I'm asking you to think about it, holding the gentleman's money until this is resolved to everybody's best interest. I know it's not normal practice, but in my opinion, number one thing that should have been taken care of on this project was stormwater should have been addressed and completed first step, not here the last step. We're still trying to figure out something and get it done. If I continue to see sinkage on mine and the adjoining property, that's not a good thing. And I believe it's all because of the way the temporary pipe is hooked up. I don't think it's a major issue, but I'm not willing to sit around and wait to see. Thank you.
Dave? I
Yes.
haven't been up through lately, because I've been coming a different way home from work. What's the erosion look like up there from the past couple of rains we had coming off the property?
Not bad.
Okay.
No, they've done a nice job. They have containment on site. They actually just put some more containment up. Runoff is not an issue. It's just, we need to figure out how to get rid of this water completely.
I actually, this was part of the issue with the last vote we had on financial security. From what I understand with financial security is they give us an amount of money, and when certain things are done, we have to give it back to them. I don't know of a legal reason if our engineers say those things are done. I don't know of a legal reason to keep their money.
As the engineer said, the stormwater is done. Stormwater should be number one thing taken care of on any construction project.
The financial security is for the amount of money that is responsible for building the public infrastructure, the roads, the sewer, those type of things. They are going to be turned over and owned by the borough at some point. So this is all set up by the state in the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code. It's very specific set of rules and guidelines for all this. We really can't say no to this, because if we do, we will be sued and we will lose, guaranteed. So,
I get your frustration.
I've got to stand here and tell you how I feel.
Get it, I get it.
And I feel like the borough, I shouldn't say the borough, I feel like myself as a citizen of the borough, things have not gone in my favor or my neighbors or my neighborhood's favor, in the fact that this has been an ongoing issue for longer than we've all been in this room, and it's still continuing, and it could get worse here real quick.
Get it.
Any other public comment?
Don Barry, 711 North Grant Street.
Don't sound so excited.
I had nothing to say when I came in this room. At this point, I'd like to know, is there any possibility that we can get this single bag program brought back regardless of the cost for the people that can't handle the trash that we didn't think about when we voted on this? That's first topic. Second topic is, the containers are smaller than 30 inches. Gates out of any fencing are usually 30 inches or more. And how I know that? I had to buy a mower to fit that when I was mowing lawns. Anybody with common sense doesn't throw open trash into any containers, especially if you're putting it in next to your property. And my last comment is, you're barking up the wrong tree with the gentleman that wants to build luxury apartments. That gentleman I spoke to personally when I was on council, he guaranteed me that's what he wants. But your school board dropped the ball. They are presently collecting taxes that they've collected for the last 10 years, the same amount, which is what they would have collected anyhow if they had took the LRTA. So they don't know how to handle a loaded gun.
Any other comments?
I just got one quick one. When you guys decided to go through and do something like change or figure out like the trash or something that's gonna affect everybody, do you send out a survey or anything to find out what the citizens of Palmyra actually think about it before doing it, or do you just come up with that and be amongst yourselves?
Correct me if I'm wrong. What we do is we have this public meeting, and we have it every 2 weeks here, so that you can hear what's coming up, and then you tell us during public comment period what's going on. And what happens is, and I get it, I do the same thing. Before I ended up sitting here, I didn't come to any of these meetings, and then I would call and give Roger a hard time and be like, Roger, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And he's like, why didn't you come to the meeting? We've been dealing with this for 9 months, and you didn't say anything, and now all of a sudden you're all up in arms. And I did that. I packed this room full of every rental property owner I could find. When we went to, yes, when we went to, do the rental registration. So I understand exactly what you're saying. The problem is this is available online on the web. The meeting minutes are published on the web every couple of days after the meeting. So we've been going over this stuff for months and months and months, and we knew the trash was gonna double. We knew it was coming. We watched what happened with Derry Township. We went out for bids, and we're required by it as a government agency that we need 3 bids, and it's a sealed bid. So we put out a request for proposal, give it to anybody can bid on it. If you wanted to bid on it, you could bid on it. Those go out, they come back, and guess what? Waste Management said, there's no single bag program, period. They're done, they're out. So they didn't even quote that. This other company came in and gave it to us, and they said it was $5 less than the standard program. So.
Quarter.
Yeah, $5 a quarter less than, so $20 a year less than what everybody else is paying per year. So we didn't really have, it wasn't like we got an option. We didn't get 9 different companies bidding on this. We were lucky to get 2. So that's where we made our decision based on that. What is the best for everyone at one time? And if you take every individual, it's still going to benefit more people, and this is an opinion, more people, this program that we've chosen, than the 61 people who use the single bag. And we did discuss this. We did go into this, and it's great that Jane's on council because she actually brought up the single bag program. Hey, why is this? Why is that? And she was convinced after we had gone over this with the 2 companies, the bids, that it didn't make sense to continue on with the single bag program.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, but didn't we do a survey originally with trash? Why do I think
we did do
I
a
remember
survey.
doing a survey?
I think way back,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did.
In 2018.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was way,
We've
it
been-
was, but yeah.
Yeah.
We were in this building, I believe, but yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
we were in this building. But it's been 6 years
yes.
since we've had our own trash truck.
Right. No, yes,
Yeah,
this is not new, but I think we did do a survey. I know we did a survey when when some people were thinking of getting rid of the trash, in-house trash.
Well, I was just questioning that because, for example, I don't realize, I work long hours. In fact, I had to really cut it today in order to get here. I do research up at the Med Center, and sometimes I just can't get out in time to come here to these meetings. But I do have, I am able to see on Levtown, they do a great job in making sure that of all the council meetings of Lebanon County. And so this is where I saw Palmyra was having these discussions and stuff. And I'm not necessarily opposed to, I was opposed to getting rid of our program. And the question, do we have any money left from the sale of these trucks and everything that apparently were supposed to go into some kind of investment or something, or whatever it was supposed to help us out with waste management for several years, but.
Well, if I remember correctly, that
4 years.
the money that we had in that fund was offsetting some of the increases that we should have been having all along.
Okay.
So there was some money, and don't ask me how much it was, I'd have to go back and look at, but that money was used to offset increases. So we didn't have to charge.
That
Yeah.
sounds familiar, but what I was trying to get at though is not just with trash, but anything that might be of major concern. I didn't know if you would have either some kind of a survey, like you send out newsletters, right? So you could probably say in the newsletter that there's a survey online if you could take before we do something on this, on something as major as, say, the trash or something else that's going to be happening within the homeowner. That you guys would have to be, just so that, I just get this feeling that, you know, like, you don't see very many people here. So very many people just don't, either they don't pay attention or they don't know, or they don't have the ability to come in at this time. And so I'm saying if you had a survey to find out what the borough citizens are thinking and feeling before making decisions, it might help a little bit, you know, other than going, you know, on what you know, just a few people, because I don't know if this would be an actual representative sample, being a scientist, a representative sample of the citizens of Palmyra. So that's why I was just asking if there's, you know, consider maybe, you know, if you know something's coming up ahead of time, put it in the newsletter. Can you go online, you know, on the website and fill out a survey? At least then, you might have a better idea of the way people are feeling, and then you won't get a lot of angry people at you.
With all due respect, in this form of government, this is a representative government. You elect these people to make the decisions on your behalf. And we are expected to present them with the information necessary for them to make a decision. So what you're saying is, you would want this council that you've elected to represent you to come back to all of you on every, like you said, major decision, okay? And wait to collect all of that and gather all that information and make that decision. As it was just stated, the decision for, and I'm just explaining a little bit about how this, I taught political science for years, so basically. So this group was presented with enough information on the trash to make a decision that legally they gathered that information through the bid process. And based off of what they had to make a decision off of what was in front of them. So they're legally required to go for a bid. The contract was up. They went for a bid. There would have been no way to come to the public to ask what you wanted. Do you want this company or that company? They're obligated by those bids. They can't go outside of that.
The only thing that I would say to that, with due respect, is I may not have voted for all of them.
Well, that's just
No,
the
I
way,
So
that's just the way the process is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is going to be suspect upon how people are voting.
But you're free to run. You're free to run for a seat.
Oh, I know.
So, I mean, you can become the representative. If you're not liking what they're doing, you can run for the
Maybe
seat.
when I retire.
Great.
I don't have time for it.
Well, and we do live stream all of these meetings, so you can watch them as they're going.
I didn't know about the single program until I read the pamphlet you sent out from the borough. And then in there it said about the providing the single program. And then, you know, I asked, you know.
Yeah, that's our quarterly newsletter.
Because it was in July, I guess, when you started the
Yeah.
program. And that's when I knew it. Otherwise, I didn't know about it. But now with the new garbage, I heard it from somebody, told me they're changing and there won't be no single program, and that's why I'm here. I said, because I can't handle these big bins, and he said, I said, I know up at Hershey they have that. The big huge bins, and I seen them already put it in. I thought, there's no way I'm gonna handle them big things. And recycling, small bin, and I said, it won't even be full. I said, is it really worth it? To me, it's not. Maybe, I don't know. But that's my comment, that's where I seen it. And it only was for 5.5 years, the single, because you're gonna do away with it now.
thank you for all your comments. Is there any others? I'll close the public comment period number 1 and go on to the consent calendar. The following agenda items will be acted upon by a single motion unless a member of Borough Council wishes to specify item to be voted on separately. Approve the minutes of the September 10th, 2024 Borough Council meeting. Approve payment of all bills listed on the August 2024 detailed check listing report. Approve the treasurer's report for the period August 1st through August 31st, 2024. Do I have any?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Passes. Personal action and discussion items. Public Works employee probation period. Discussion and if appropriate, we'd like to extend the probation period for Public Works employee 9900 for 3 months from September 18th to December 18th, 2024 to enable the new Public Works superintendent more time to evaluate their performance.
So I had it asked, and the Public Works Superintendent may not need 3 months. And I hate to see somebody on probation for any longer than they need to be. So I'd like to amend that motion to say for up to 3 months. So the superintendent feels he can make a decision.
For up to.
Yes.
So we'll add up to, can we do that to the?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a
So
problem.
the new motion would be to extend the probation period for Public Works employee 990 for up to 3 months from September 18th to December 18th to enable the Public Works superintendent to more time to evaluate their performance. Do I have a
Second.
motion? First,
Oh, first.
Jane, well,
Yeah, well, yeah, since I amended it, thank you, I'll make that motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against?
Who was the second? Here.
Resolution 2024, auditor appointed for 2024 audit, discussion on if appropriate to approve resolution 2024-20 to resolve resolution to appoint Brown Plus to perform the annual audit for year-end December 31st, 2024, for a fee not to exceed $36,300.
that you just was here the other,
Yes.
okay.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Another suggested motion, minimum municipal obligation, MMO, for pension funding. Non-uniform pension plan 2024 MMO equals $324,192. Discussion on and if appropriate, to approve the non-uniform minimum municipal obligation for pension plan funding for the 2025 budget year.
So I have a question. I know that this fund is slightly under 100%.
Yes.
But not much.
Not much.
And again, just like our auditor said, that probably is because of the fluctuation in the market. I guess it's impossible to say that this will bring us up to 100% because you don't know what the market's going. So moved.
Second.
I have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? All right, motion
This one
passes.
will be the commission
Now, before the land development plan, this East Ridge Road, Melrose Phase 1, I was asked if we could get an update on the from the borough manager, if the East Ridge Road, Melrose Phase 1 update off-site stormwater, he could give us that little bit of update.
Well, as you know, as we previously reported, we've had how many options to pursue on this? I think we're on option G at this point. North Londonderry did not allow us to extend the pipe and connect to their inlet on their property, so we are going to have a meeting with the residents, myself and Mike Naus, our engineer. We're gonna sit down and hash out, I guess option H now is to replace the pipe that we have in the existing easement on the north side of East Ridge Road. and have it discharge along the roadside edge. The water's gonna go to the same place, but, so that's what we wanna meet with them. We don't wanna create any additional problems for anybody downstream of that, so we wanna get all the issues out on the table so we can figure out a way to still make it a win for everybody involved.
Okay.
So we are meeting on October 2nd, I believe, October 2nd.
So I'll go back to the motion. The financial security reduction request, the motion to approve the $267,795.41 reduction of the financial security required for the East Ridge Road Melrose Phase 1 Land Development Plan from $597,753.67 to a new outstanding financial security balance of $300,229,958.27 as recommended by the Borough Engineer in the letter dated September 18th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
All for?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? All right, the motion passes. There is no president today. I am sitting in as vice president. I don't have any comments or report. The financial report, financial statement of August 31st, 2024. Is there any questions on those?
I feel like I'm not doing my job. I haven't had questions in months.
No, we're doing ours.
You're doing your job. Thank you.
Fire department? No new updates? Okay. Library report?
Oh, there was no library report. I did not make the meeting last week, so I don't want to write a report on a meeting I wasn't at.
Western Lebanon County Regional Police Department, Sergeant's here tonight for us, your monthly report.
Everyone received the statistics from August. Other than that, I have nothing additional.
Seems like everything's split half and half between here and Anvil.
We're trying to make sure that we're
Equal.
equal coverage to the best of our abilities.
We're seeing you out there, and I do hear feedback from individuals that we've never seen the police as much as we have. So
Yeah.
it seems to be working. I'm not hearing anything negative. Pass along our thanks to the officers. Recreation Commission?
Our meeting was Wednesday, so you'll probably have the rec report in the next 2 weeks.
We don't have anything from the solicitor?
No.
Zoning and Codes Enforcement, Zoning Hearing Board, no hearing scheduled for October. And now to the Borough Manager's Report.
Well, the first item we already addressed, so that's taken care of. The second item, Public Works vehicle.
You know what I'm gonna
I know,
ask.
I know. This truck was probably due for replacement 2 years ago. We've been kind of stringing it along. New Public Works Superintendent comes on board. We find out, first of all, it wasn't inspected. There was some problems with it. It's probably, this truck's due to be replaced. It's probably not worth putting the money back into it to bring it up to where it should be, to keep using it for another couple years if it's gonna be replaced. So, I asked Clint to get some pricing. Click Lewis gave us a real nice CoStar's price. They have the truck in stock, it's available now. If you're willing to consider replacing it this year, it's available now, we can pay for it, we'll probably have it in a couple weeks. Otherwise, we'll probably be putting it in the budget for next year, which probably gonna be a new model year, who knows when they're gonna be available and at what price. So probably gonna be more expensive, I would think, at that point, so.
So which vehicle is this replacing?
It's a number
Seven.
7, which is a utility, it's a four-wheel drive pickup truck with a utility body on the back.
So, Roger, so out of curiosity, if we don't replace this now, we're gonna be down a plow truck for the winter?
Yeah.
And it's 12 years old, so you don't want to put any money into it, any real money into it.
We don't think it would be financially responsible to do that. I mean, you could, but I don't think that's the way to go.
And it's actually due to be replaced in 2027, according to this. In a perfect world,
Yeah.
that doesn't always work out.
Pickup trucks, we try to do 10 years. We adjusted that to 15 years, so it's right.
Got 12.
Yeah.
Can we put that on municipal bid to bid out or
To sell it, yes.
Okay.
So it will be sold,
Yes.
and then those proceeds will offset whatever else we
Right.
spent.
Wow, look at the difference in the price of the trucks.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's not a bad price.
That's not, because you
No, it's
you
not a
look at
bad price, but the one that we're replacing was 35.7. That's a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
12 years later.
12 years, but
I saw one the other day for 71,000.
yeah, they're hard.
Oh,
it's
yeah, the
horrible.
new pickup trucks are nuts.
Okay, I will make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Our second was Nancy?
Yes. We do have we received our new number 6 one-ton dump truck finally. It took us, 2.5 years to get that. So we have that, and we have our old number 6 one-ton dump truck on municipal bid right now. The bids are due on Friday, so. Results of that in the next meeting.
No other communications, other business.
So, Roger, I know I wasn't at the last meeting, but I was brought up to speed on a few things. So with the trash, we said we could talk to them about reducing pricing on trash collection after the bid. Is that true, or is that negotiating a lower cost? That's-
No.
Okay,
That's why it's a sealed bid and it's due
Right.
at a certain time.
okay, and then one other thing, and this is just pretty much a public service announcement. I know we're in that time of year with elections right now. I've noticed a few things in town, and I'm probably sure I share the opinion of everybody. Doesn't matter what your political affiliation is, do not damage other people's political signs. I've seen some across the borough that have been damaged. It doesn't matter. I'm sure the sergeant can tell you it's also illegal to damage political signs, to seal political signs. It's not a fun time right now anywhere in the politics world, but they're your neighbor. They have the right to their own opinion. And I just like to put that out there. Please, mind your manners in a way. It's not nice for anybody right now.
All right. Public comment period number 2. Please step to the microphone and have your name and address for the record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Question, but I don't know. When they did the piping of the water in the road, some roads were blacktopped and other ones weren't. Why was that?
Do you have a,
I'm on Duke Street and they didn't do no blacktopping. Now on Birch Street, they did. Then on the following street from me, they did. So I didn't know why, wherever they did the piping, why they didn't do it all the way.
So there was pipe replaced on Duke?
When they changed the piping for the water.
Oh, the
Oh.
water company.
Oh, the water company.
Yeah.
Because we have a schedule for street
You know,
pavement.
it's when they did the
Right.
piping,
Well-
and then some did blacktop and others didn't, because there were other neighbors that asked about it. And I'm just asking for them, I guess, because I said, I don't know, but, so I thought that came up to me, and I thought I'll say something to you, I don't know why.
Yeah, when the water company replaces their water lines, we require them to restore, obviously, the pavement. Sometimes they do like half the street, sometimes they'll do the full street.
Well, they did the Birch one.
That was us just in our normal paving. Right, Duke we didn't get to yet, but it will be in the upcoming years, yeah.
Others were asking, they do everybody else's, but I said, well, I don't know why, don't ask me.
Now you can tell them.
What's that?
Now you can tell them
Yeah,
why.
I say it's gonna sometime. Thank you.
I need to stand up, or can I just stay here?
The only thing, they can't hear you on the live stream if
Well,
not.
there's just one quick thing, since you brought that up, was that Arch and Forge, they had repaved that area when they put the new housing in there on Green. I'm not sure if you,
The duplex.
yeah, those apartment complexes there. Well, they paved that, and now, and at one point in time, there used to be a little lull in there that had water, that standing water. Do you know if that's gonna ever get fixed or not? Because I could see in the winter, when there's rain, a nice little sheet of ice sitting there, and I was just wondering if that was ever gonna be taken care of or not, just out of curiosity.
I don't know, we haven't had any complaints about that. Typically, after the paving's done, the engineer looks at everything. Usually the first rainstorm, we take a look at to make sure things are flowing the way they should be. So if there's standing water there, I don't think we're aware of it. Or
Well, there's
it's not
constantly
noticeable.
standing water there after a rainstorm, so it's between Green and Forge on Arch Street. And it was just curious, because I sat and I thought, you would have thought that they would have done something when they paved it in order to get rid of that, but it's always been there, but I didn't know if they were gonna change that or not, so it was just a thought. So,
Thank you.
Remind me after the meeting, I gotta tell you my funny story of my car getting stuck in ice overnight.
Any other public comment? All right, closing public comment in period number 2. Announcement, Borough Council will conduct its next public meeting on Tuesday, October 8th, 2024, and Tuesday, October 22nd, October 2024, beginning at 7 PM. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? All right, motion passes.
Jeff.